SQL Server 2012 exposes quite a few built-in functions. And so before we jump into examples on scalar functions and table valued functions, I just want to point out the vast array of built-in functions that are out here for your use and encourage you to go out here and kind of click around. I want you to notice here, what I've done is I've just gone into the SQL Server Management Studio, clicked on Help, and told it to show me help. And then I just did a search on average, the AVG function. And when you go to that, this is the easiest way I know to get there. I just scroll down, and you could even do a search on built-in functions. But if you go to aggregate functions and then scroll down, you'll see built-in functions. And you could probably just search built-in functions, but this is the easiest way I've seen to get there. But notice the different types of functions. You have row set functions, and we've used those to connect to other databases. And this can be used in place of a table reference, but like open data source, open row set, and those kinds of things. Let's go back. We can go aggregate functions. These are the things like average, count. I'll show you some of that in just a few moments. You've already seen it in the course. And then there's ranking functions. We used these a little earlier. Rank and dense rank, and then we talked about the entile functionality. Then as you scroll them down, you see scalar functions, you see configuration functions, and notice these are these global variables that are out there, the various nest levels, service names, so forth. Then you can see conversion functions, logical functions, if statements, choose statements, mathematical functions. These are things like assign, tangent, cotangent, all those sorts of things, power, things going back to your geometry days. String functions, this is like substring, converting to ASCII, uppercase, lowercase, length, all those sorts of things. So there's a lot of various functions out there that you can use. And then, of course, the create function for creating your own user functions, which we're going to look at a little bit later on. But for now, these things are out there. They're available at any point. Notice I am connected to the AdventureWorks 2012 database right here, and I'm in a query window, and I'm going to just select everything from the sales order header table, and I want you to see that we have some number columns out here. And for example, we have like the freight column. So notice I'm just going to select the average of freight from the sales order header, and notice the average value is $101. I can also count to see how many are out there and then get an average. And let's just put a couple of aliases out there, and I'll put number. And then since I'm going to use a keyword, I'll put it in literals. And notice there's the number, there's 31,465, and the average is 101.1736. Now, very, very simple to use. These are built-in functions. These things are all over the place, so just kind of go look for those. We can use sum, and instead of average, we get a sum of all those. Very, very cool, very, very easy to use. But again, the big thing here is just how many of these built-in functions are out there. So just go click around in help and you can see them. And you'll also, by moving through these and reading over them, trust me, this will come back to you someday and you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, I know how to get that. There's a function for that. I remember seeing it one day when I was browsing through. So whenever you're on hold, whenever you're in a meeting that you don't need to be paying attention, just grab the SQL Books Online, open it up to one of these type pages, and just read around. This is stuff that will come in handy at some point. So anyway, that's a real quick look and an exposure to the idea and concept of the built-in functions in SQL Server 2012.